So this is a quick demo of how we can do task management within the Taskation system. So I've gone to the project screen here, and we've got this project which is set up as a qualified opportunity. So I'm just going to go into the project details. I'm going to change the end date. I'll make that a little while in the future, and save that. And then there's a few things that we can do. So basically, one of the core elements within the system is activities. So an activity can be all these different categories. It can be an event, it can be sickness or holiday, it can be a task, a milestone, it can be a project meeting, it can be work performed, it can be a job. All of these different options. And one of the things that we can do is we can set up templates. So I've got. So the templates can be done in a few different ways. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the task for this basic project setup and apply that. So what this is going to do is it's going to take this template, and I'll show you the templates in a second, and it's going to add these templates to these tasks to this project. So there we go. So we've got those tasks there. So just a quick look on how that's set up. So if we go into settings and we go into project templates, we can see that we can basically set up tasks which are to be completed a certain number of days from the start date of the project, and we can either assign a specific user or we can assign somebody who's got a role in the project. So that's the role from the project team here. Okay, so and what I'm going to do as well while I'm in here, I'm going to add a test user as a team member here onto the project. Okay, so we've got this activity view, but we've also got a task view. So the task view can work in a number of different ways. We have the board view, so that's kind of like some of the other well-known project management systems where you have this kind of board with cards called Kanban view, and you can drag these into these different columns. So we can basically say, right, okay, well that needs to be done next. That's obviously showing in red because it's overdue. That's showing in yellow because it's upcoming. And then we can say, in fact, that's in progress at the moment. So we can just try to drag those around. We can also see that in a list view like this, or by status, or we can do a weekly view. So we can see what's in the last 30 days, what's upcoming this week, what's next week, and when you click on that, it will open the tasks. I could, for example, add a subtask to this, which would be, I just add one per line, so I can say create NDA from template, and that would save a new subtask against that. So you can see that we've got the create NDA from template as another task in there. Now, I can obviously go back to the project here. I can also go into the overall tasks view here. So you can see that that's now appearing in my last 30 days as a subtask. So create NDA from template, and it's just showing you the project and the parent task as well. I can click on the hide completed button here. So this is really useful for managing your own workload. You can just generally see what you've got to do, and whether it's overdue or anything. You can obviously look at it in a board view like this, or you can look at it in a list view again like this, just a complete list by status. So I could go and say, right, okay, well I'm going to create the MDA. I'm going to mark that as completed. So save. So that's going to disappear off this list. If I click show completed, then it will obviously be there again, and hide completed. And I could also take, let's go back into, let's for example click through here and go into this project. So we're back into this project. You can see how the subtask appears in that activity list, and go into the task view for this project. And so we can say, for example, finalize scope. I can assign that to the other team member who's on this project, so that will then no longer appear in my own task view, but it will appear in tester's task view. So that's kind of how you do it. It's fairly flexible. Also, you can add notes, so I could basically give a note to tester, please complete this task, save that. So that will then appear underneath that task. So that, and I'll click off that, and that will close that. So, and we can go back to the project here. So that's kind of how the whole task management process works. You've got essentially the same task screen you've got for specific projects, or you've got that general my tasks, all tasks. I can filter that by project. We can also list all so my task notes. You can see all task notes, so you can basically see all the notes that have been added in chronological order. So it's kind of like an inbox type view. So there's various ways you can slice and dice it, assign it to people, view your own workload, etc., etc. So that's really how we do task management within the Taskation system.